Okay, here with Thursday's warm-up. This is a 30-second EMOM for 6 minutes. Okay, we're alternating between 3 movements. So we are doing, first movement is going to be the full 30 seconds of butt kicks. Remember to keep those knees pointed at the ground, pulling with the hamstring, okay? Now we're going to get to the floor, and we're going to do 7 per side on the next 30 seconds. Single leg glute bridge, okay? Pesky does a good job of keeping his midline stable, keeping the knees together, and making sure that he's driving through his heel to activate that hamstring, all right? And then lastly, we're going to do our side plank plus a leg raise. We're going to do 10 leg raises. So doing abductions here, staying nice and straight. When the leg raises, it's going to try to force your hips to drop, and your goal is to not allow that to happen. If you go up on the hand, it's going to be harder to maintain that rigid midline. Cool, so 10 per side on that, and you're just rotating back and forth through all 3 movements over the course of the 6 minutes, all right? Then we're doing our mobility, okay? So our mobility is gonna be ballistic leg swings. So this is not like crazy fast, but it's fast, okay? So straight leg, first front to back, 20, and then we're gonna face the wall, both hands on the wall, and we're gonna go same leg, side to side, ballistic for 20, and then you would do the same thing on the other leg, okay? 20, 20, 20, 20, all right? It's just kind of hitting the hip flexor from every angle, making sure that we can open up that hip flexor. All right, guys, so Thursday's METCON, we just watched Besky go through the warm-up where we kind of just did a mini WOD prep. So today's workout, Fat Amy, all right, a little benchmark for you. We've got a long, slow distance workout, okay? So this is an endurance workout. We're looking for that aerobic stimulus. It's gonna be very tempting to start off real quick because we've got air squats. So we wanna really focus on control on the air squats, and that's controlling our speed, controlling our tempo, and controlling our position. So Ben's gonna do a few more air squats here for you, and notice how he's doing a really good job of tracking his hips back and his knees over his toe, and he's gonna consistently go at this speed for all 50 reps so that he doesn't have to stop ever. If we ever have to stop during the 50 reps, you just went a little too fast off the start. So readjust your pace and try to control it, okay? Then we get the burpees. We do 10 burpees in between each movement on this workout. Now, you gotta treat these burpees not like you're doing 10. We have to do 10 burpees, but we have to do it 8 times for this workout. That's 80 reps. So it's 80 reps, not 10. So that's gonna really change how you do your burpee. If you're doing 10 burpees, it's gonna look more like this. Pushing off real hard, but his heart rate's gonna spike. If you're doing 80 burpees, it's gonna look more like this. Okay, so watch how he uses the ground here. The ground, rather than being like a springboard, it's kind of absorbing his body into it very gradually, being very gentle in the bottom, and going at a slower tempo, okay? It's just more sustainable, and that's what we're looking for, all right? Next movement, we have our sit-up, okay? If we push any movement, we can push here, okay? There's not a lot of limitation between all the other movements in this one. We can afford to go a little harder, and this movement isn't that taxing metabolically, okay? So we're gonna watch Besky really give her on these. He can even like throw his arms in there, really driving to those heels, and just go on these. You can just turn these over and cycle these reps very quickly. All right, then we go back to the burpees, and then we get to the lunge. On these lunges, to stay consistent, I like to put my hands on my hips, but just don't put them on your leg. Make sure we're really pushing off the heel, so we're striking on the front heel, and we're driving off the front heel. So step and back, and get into that good rhythm. With that, coming off the sit-ups, you're gonna feel pretty fresh here, but remember, you gotta do them again. So just like every other movement, stay consistent, keep a good tempo, all right? Then we go back to the burpee, and then we get to our dumbbell, okay? So, best thing to do is dumbbell snatch, and if you look at all of the other movements, there's a lot of leg, okay? Our legs are not gonna wanna drive in this dumbbell, but there's not really a lot of arms, so we really wanna focus on high elbow at the top. We don't wanna over pull it, but we want to really focus on that sequence of the movement. So watch Pesky's chainsaw pull in this with that high elbow getting right to the ear, but still keeping the dumbbell nice and close. It's going to be very crucial to really use the arms as much as we can, but not using it out of order, okay? Don't think that because we want to use more arm, we're going to over pull from the start. We need to use it in sequence, okay? Then we go back to the burpee, and finally, the pinnacle of this pyramid, we do our bear crawl. Now, this movement is going to be very tempting to just run across the floor because it's super fast, okay? Great, you got a good time, but what are we accomplishing? Not much, all right? We've got to slow this movement down. We've got to kind of take a step back and think about why we're doing it. We're doing it to develop the shoulders, okay? Think of it like a progression for a handstand walk, all right? So Beth's gonna show you, he's gonna run across the floor, so do one word, all right? So, yeah, that's fast, all right? But really, we're just, we're not in a kids class, all right? So we're trying to, if you want to do that, just have fun, you go ahead. But what we're going to do is get his hips over his shoulders. We're going to focus on loading through the shoulder. Good, see how he's leaning his body weight over his shoulder? And that's going to allow him, it's going to slow him down, it's going to cause more shoulder fatigue, but it's going to allow him to be better for tomorrow, okay? And that's the point. So that's when we reach the pyramid, and then we go back down through all the movements all over again. So have fun with that one. Long, slow distance. Just put on your favorite playlist, maybe the CFO Social playlist, and have fun with this one, guys.